Why wait for tomorrow when you have today? Make the most of today. Yes, I get trolled. Yes, I get constantly judged for every decision of mine, every move of mine. I'm not going to sit down over here to please anyone because just because you feel like. And if I'm going to get trolled for it, so be it. A woman with ambition is a win-win for me.
You know, you have been evolving and evolving and evolving. What does it mean to stay so relevant and so beautiful and so amazing?
Well, I've said this just very recently that I'm in the business now for 30 years. And staying relevant for 30 years isn't very easy, isn't a joke. It is probably the most difficult task. And for a woman to stay relevant is even more difficult. I'm just like you have your story, I have my story to kind of share and talk about. So yeah, I think the one thing over the years for you to stay relevant is to constantly be reinventing yourself. And to reinvent yourself is probably the most difficult because everyone sees you as a commodity in the business and they all think you come with a tag. They all think you come with a certain shelf life, and post that, you need to be relegated to whatever, you know? You need to move on and do whatever you're doing. If you're married, then you need to stay at home and take care of your kids, you know, keep your kitchen fires burning. So it's literally, we all come with a tag. So for you to actually move beyond that tag and to be able to span over 3 decades is probably the most difficult thing. Consistency is very, very important. Constantly reinventing yourself and telling yourself every single day of your life. So every single day I wake up and I tell myself that, listen, I want to be better at what I'm doing. I need to prove myself and get better. I cannot be stuck in that one box and shoved into that box because everybody thinks that's what you're meant to do. I need to get out of my comfort zone, prove myself day in and day out that I'm more than just a pretty face. So I think to do that every day of your life is probably the most difficult. Opportunities come and go. Everybody in this room gets enough and more opportunities. And I think when you actually strike and when you actually grab those opportunities with both hands, that is what matters. Because sometimes you don't even realize it. These opportunities may come and go and you may think that, हाँ देखा जाएगा, अब तो मैं खुश हूँ जो मैं कर रही हूँ, I'm fine, इतना सारा प्यार मिल रहा है, you know, I'm fine. You know, so to actually move beyond that comfort zone is a task by itself, and that is what keeps you relevant and keeps you going in this business.
You know, so the question I wanted to ask now is, was it also a conscious decision or it was an evolution that happened in you with time?
It's a bit of both.
Okay.
It is a bit of both because, I mean, of course, as a person, I'm evolving. Evolution happens. Like I said, it's very, very difficult for us to get out of our comfort zone because we're so used to what's going on around us. ये चल रहा है, ऐसे जा रहा है, ठीक जा रहा है. And I think that's typical human nature. सब ठीक जा रहा है. Why should we shake the boat? Why should we kind of rock that boat, you know? Let's just go with, you know, let's see. But to actually take that leap of faith and say, you know what, it's okay. I'll put myself out there. I may succeed, I may fail, I may be a disaster, I may be a success story. You got to take that chance. It's just a leap of faith. And that is what I did. I trusted the people who I work with, the people who I'm surrounded with, which means my agency, my managers, my people around me who day in and day out work with me on a daily basis. And I took that leap of faith and I said, you know what? Chalo, koi baat nahi, kar lenge. Let me do this and let me see what comes out of it. And getting into a space of wanting to be an entrepreneur, to be part of startups, to be part of businesses, something I know, I mean, excuse my language, jack shit about, but I took that chance. I really did take that chance.
No life is easy. And your life has also not been easy. And I also see for
Life shouldn't be easy.
Of course.
If it's easy, then where is the challenge? Where is the fun? If
Yeah.
it's going to be smooth sailing, subah se leke shaam tak, if it's going to be smooth sailing, I don't want to be part of that sort of a life. I like challenges thrown at me. I want it to be difficult. I want it to be tough. So yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah, we can see that.
Bring it on. In fact, I say that I'm a sucker for challenges. I'm like, bring it on. Throw me into the deep end and let me see. If I actually come out trumps or if I actually sink further. That's what it is.
That inspires. Tell me, the kind of, for all the attention that you also get a lot of trolling and criticism. I was doing, looking at the social media and everything. And as entrepreneurs, as builders, as all of us face that on an everyday basis. But the attention and the limelight and the scale at which you get, the obvious way at which you get is far more visible, far more out there. How do you process that, and how do you deal with that, and how do you come across as so optimist and so positive?
So maybe as an entrepreneur, as a builder, as a educationalist, as whatever. I mean, you may not get trolled, or you may not get panned, or you may not get so badly, constantly, scrutinized as much as we do in the business that we are in, because we're constantly in the public eye. We're constantly being scrutinized, every step, every move, everything that we do. There's a constant judgment of sorts over there. So trolls happen, all of it, and I say this over and over and over again. I think I've kind of exhausted myself saying it. That yes, I get trolled. Yes, I get constantly judged for every decision of mine, every move of mine, every way that I am. I'm constantly judged for it. But if I'm going to live my life constantly wondering or thinking, how do I please each one of them, I'm going to be a wreck. I'm going to be miserable. I'm never going to be able to move beyond, be happy and succeed. I cannot please everybody. I can't. And I'm not put on this earth to please everybody. I'm put on this earth to be happy, to make a place and a mark for myself. So I'm not going to sit down over here to please anyone, just because you feel like. And if I'm going to get trolled for it, so be it. I will take it in my stride, and you know what? I'll just move on. I cannot get bogged down by it. I can't. And I'll never let myself get bogged down by it.
ये जो स्पेस है, ये स्पेस जो कॉन्फिडेंस का होता है, वो ऐसे ही नहीं आता है. आदमी बहुत कुछ देखता है तो एक अंदर से what you're saying.
जी, absolutely. जो आप कह रहे हैं, आप सही कह रहे हैं. ये we all are born with our set of insecurities. We all are born with being not so confident. I was a not very confident child. I grew to be confident. I was also told, I'm not the conventionally looking pretty girl. I'm not tall. I'm not the conventional skin color. I was told all of that in my growing up years. Obviously, it does affect you. It does, kind of throw you back. So I think all of it, with time, you kind of move beyond that. You become confident. I wake up every single day telling myself, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. I tell myself that because I feel that is something I need to do for myself to motivate myself on a daily basis. And I say this again, I don't need somebody else to tell me that, hey, you know what, you're this. I don't need that. What really makes me feel good is like when you tell me that somebody is getting inspired by what I'm doing, someone gets inspired by what I'm saying, or someone's getting inspired or just saying the fact that, hame bade hokar hame bhi Malaika Arora banna hai. For me, that is vindication. I feel that is validation for me in life, and I'm very happy when I hear that.
I have to give you that validation more. Abhi sabko, if in this country one has to be fit and be healthy and fit and be super confident, then you are the reference point. Look, Malaika, look at her. And the other thing is, sorry to say this, but Malaika is not aging at all. She's reverse aging and she's getting younger. And that makes, abhi maine pucha hai sabse, I want to ask you, tell us what are some of the things. And Malaika, give us.
How old do you think I am? I mean, I don't go by what Wikipedia says and Uskipedia. I don't go by that. Tell me how old do you think I am?
20, 25.
Yeah. Now you're really trying to musk up me. Well, again, age is just a number.
Yes.
Age is just state of mind. It's something that you just have to deal with year in and year out. कि हाँ भाई आज मेरा birthday है और आज एक साल में मैं ज़्यादा होने वाली हूँ, एक साल में I'm going to age. But I think also when it comes to fitness, when it comes to being healthy, a holistic lifestyle, all of these things, they are great words to say. I think in today's day and age, they are those reference words that everybody uses. But to actually live by it, to actually make it a passion and a part of your life comes with a certain amount of discipline. And nothing can happen if you're not disciplined. And I think everybody says कि अरे यार रोज उठ के आप जिम जाते हो, वर्कआउट करते हो, क्यों, किसके लिए? किसी के लिए मैं तो थोड़ी कर रही हूँ, मैं कर रही हूँ खुद के लिए, because for me that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me physically, mentally alert, young, fresh, disciplined, and I like doing that because it just makes me feel that I'm able to tackle my day and what I want to do better. So, and I will do that. I'm not going to sit back and say, अच्छा, just because somebody's saying कि क्यों कर रहे हो यार, कल कर लो, why? कल क्यों, आज ही कर लो. Why wait for tomorrow when you have today? Make the most of today. So that's the kind of philosophy I believe in. I do not want to miss an opportunity. I don't want to miss a moment in life just because somebody says कि कल देखा जाएगा.
In everywhere, but particularly maybe in the industry that you come from, there is this, ageism also when it comes to women. And we've all grown, like abhi pata nahi publicly joke kar sakti hu ya nahi, but we've seen men dancing and not aging, as in aging, but still being there, right? And women, there's always a shelf life, but you have broken that. What do you have to say, and then what would you like to tell women who would in different industries and spaces would be facing something like this?
This is an age-old aspect that we've faced, ageism, where you're constantly relegated to a certain, part of your life where you say, कि अभी बस हो गया, अभी बहुत हो गया, अभी, now और क्या करना है, अभी 30 साल हो गए, आप शादी कर लो, बच्चे पैदा कर लो, बस अभी, you don't need to do. But I think over the years, that concept is also changing. And like you said, in today's day and age, people are so aware about it. I mean, wherever you go, whether it's in a business space, in an office, at home, in any workspace, of course, the ratio of men to women there's always a disparity over there. But I think it's changing. It's changing with time. It still has a long way to go. Women are still not given that platform or that privilege as yet, where you're told that after a certain age that you can still continue, you can still go about your life and succeed at the pace that you are, because there's a certain prerequisite of society for women. But like you said, it is changing. There is a sudden shift in dynamic over there. I work with amazing women in my workspace, one better than the other. All have a great mind, thinking mind, motivate me on a daily basis. So I think that is changing. I think world over now, women actually have a place at any business table, at any cap table. Now you have a woman over there, and it's amazing to see that whole dynamic is changing. The work at your workplace, the workforce for women is also changing. So I think not just in my industry, there are a few women now who are now there and are relevant, making comebacks, because I think there was a certain point in time of their life where everybody told them that's enough. But now those same women are making a comeback because roles have opened up for them, opportunities have opened up for them. So they're back again, proving themselves. So I think that's just a matter of time where it changes, and where you'll see a lot more women from different age groups representing different sectors and proving themselves and being number one at what they're doing. Top of the game. Absolutely on top of their game.
Aapke space mein ego is, the space that you come, at least it looks like that people have a lot of ego. How have you over the years, with the attention and everything, just maintained, what is your equation one with the ego? And how have you maintained ki detachment?
I think I have a fairly good understanding of my of my ego, and I don't think it's. I think in the business that we are in, we are so people mistake it for ego, which or people mistake it for, oh, she has a attitude. I think we just kind of safeguard ourselves. You know, we kind of create these walls and these barriers purely to safeguard ourselves, because I think sometimes you need to somewhere hold on to yourself, because there's so much of you out there, so much of you that is being judged daily, on a daily basis. So they're just walls and barriers that you create just so that you have your own little space to breathe in, to evolve and to understand what is happening. I don't really call that ego, so to speak. So I think I'm fairly, as a person, I think I'm very, very open to criticism, very open to people, telling me, maybe I should have done it this way, or maybe I could have done it that way. I'm very open to it. I have absolutely no qualms about having a freewheeling chat about, how maybe things could have been, or maybe you could have approached it this way or that. And I think you should keep an open mind, because the day you have a closed mind and you're not okay about accepting any kind of feedback, I think that is where you tend to decline. I think that is where your downfall will happen. So you need to have an open mind and be sponges. I think that is what is very important in life. Absorb as much as you can, learn. And I may sit here and have this conversation, but I'm sure tomorrow if I have a chance to sit down and actually talk to people and pick your brain, there's so much to learn from each one of you, of everybody in the room, tonight. So I think it's very important to just be that sponge and just keep absorbing in life.
How can we get you as an investor?
I can sit across the table and have this conversation very, very happily, very, very happily, and I'm very happy to bring upon as many brands and businesses to Malaika Arora Ventures. It's something that I floated with Exceed and LAP, which is the team that works with me very closely. And I think Malaika Arora Ventures that we floated last year was something which is very, very close to my heart. It's something which I never even imagined that I would be able to actually have a platform, that could actually showcase something which I had zero knowledge about. I'm learning. I am a work in progress. Every day I learn. And every day somebody teaches me something new. And I'm like, whoa, I can incorporate this in my space of business, or in my understanding of business. I'm very happy with, which is what I started off saying, the few F's in my life, which are food, fashion, and fitness, which is each one of them, which is very, very dear and very close to my life, which overall, if you have to put it into a capsule, you call it wellness, which is what I love, which is something that I believe in, something that I live by day in and day out. It is not just on a whim that I'm doing it. It's not on a whim that I wanted to be a part of my every business venture, or every business step that I want to take, or brand or association that I want to do. But it comes from a very, very deep-rooted place of passion, which I believe in, and that is why I'm very happy to be part of the Malaika Arora Ventures.
But abhi jo agar if one is not in wellness space, can we still approach you?
Of course. I mean, that is a place where I started from. That is something that was a passion that drove me to go into that, to kind of carve a niche, or to make it an area which I had a lot of knowledge, or was gaining knowledge, or things that I felt passionate about. Of course, I'm absolutely very, very happy and open to business ideas that anybody in this room may have or want to explore. Very happy with wanting to sit across the table and chat about it. Like I said, we got to be sponges over here, and I think that's the only way forward.
So how do we connect with you?
अच्छा, मेरा business card?
हाँ, business card है. मतलब हम वो भी कर लेंगे, वो QR code से भी हम accept कर लेंगे.
QR code. Well, that's not very difficult. I don't think that's a very difficult prospect.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a very difficult way. I think it's just a matter of connecting. I'm somebody who follows my gut. I'm somebody who listens to that inner voice of mine. I really do. It's something that really guides me. So yes, feel free. I think like I said, we are all here on the same platform, trying to explore and make a space for ourselves in this expanse of this universe that is there in front of us. So yeah, I'm here. Please feel free to approach me, get in touch with me. I'm very happy to sit and listen. I may not be your conventional Shark Tank, but I can still be a shark if I want to in the space out here. So yeah, feel free to, whenever, reach out to me.
I was going to ask you, give you some words, and I'd love to hear your views on those.
On a rapid fire.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
quite the thing I have to say, huh? Rapid fire. Okay, fire away.
What does ambition mean to you?
Ambition. I think for a woman to have ambition itself is a big deal, and I think
Yes.
that in itself for me is amazing, because I think people don't really associate women and ambition together. I mean, in a large space out there. So for me, a woman with ambition is a win-win for me.
How to be like you? Like how to look like this, be fit like this. Give us, nobody is giving me secrets. What are some creams one can use? What are supplements one can have? What are some of the things one can do? And don't tell yoga, because that we
I'm going
see
to
you.
say join my studio, Diva Yoga Studio. Sare answers वहाँ पे हैं. Nothing is going to come out of a jar or of a bottle, right? That ain't helping anybody. So yeah, I say come to my studio, or feel free if you want to invest in my studios also, I'm fine with that. We'll open many more studios all over the country, worldwide, pan-India, pan-Asia, jo bhi hai. I'm very happy to do that.
How do you deal with heartbreak or failures?
I cry. I'm emotional. I'm human, and that's how what I do. I think nothing like a good cry to get all of that pent up stress out of your system, and then I wake up the next day and I say, "Raat gayi, baat gayi."
What is success for you?
Being able to sit in a room and addressing 1,500 people who want to listen to me, that for me is success.
What is love for you?
Love for me is breath of fresh air and probably oxygen for me. I love it. I think if there was no love, I think we'd just be very bitter people. Love in whatever way, in whatever format, I think should always be welcome with both arms.
What is spirituality for you? What does it mean?
I think spirituality is a very, very personal
Yeah.
term. I'm still trying to wrap my head around spirituality, and I think the word means has a different connotation and a meaning for every single person. For somebody, it may mean doing good works. For somebody, it may mean a yoga session. For somebody, it may mean a great night, good night of sleep. For somebody, it's meditation. So the word spirituality, I think, differs from person to person. And like I said, I'm still wrapping my head around the term spirituality.
Malaika Arora Ventures. What today, if I say, what does it mean to you today?
Malaika Arora Ventures is still at its nascent stage. We still have a lot more to explore, to create an ecosystem of sorts where I can bring as many brands on board, and not just as an investor, as a brand ambassador, but I just want to be able to have or to associate with brands that I feel I can make a difference to, and they can make a difference to me as well as society, consumers, etc. So I think I'm just itching and waiting to expand Malaika Arora Ventures.
If we had to pick something from your life journey, the life that you've lived so far, और एक चीज़ जो आप हमसे शेयर करना चाहेंगे, जो हम अभी अपने लाइफ जी रहे हैं, तो we could, and if we go through some kind of pain, rejection, failure, we could say, hey, Malaika said this. What would that be?
I would say two things, actually. And this is purely from example, from whatever life that I have lived so far for the 48 years of life that I've lived on planet Earth. One is love yourself, because nobody else will do it for you. Put yourself and love yourself first, and have no regrets in life. Whatever your choices may be, good, bad, ugly, they're your choices. Live by them and have no regrets.
Thank you so much for coming today and lending your voice to the Indian startup story.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for having me. Thank you, TechSparks.